Computer is not cooperating at the moment. Give me a second. A lot of resources used up by this whole production here. All right, I think we're good now. What's up, everyone? So, really noteworthy, Portland struggling desperately in that quarter to score. At one point, they had 9 points on 18 possessions. It was a 27-14 shellacking by Denver in that quarter. Of particular note, the Blazers' turnovers. They have 14 turnovers now against a Denver team that very rarely forces turnovers. So that's a huge issue for them. Denver has only 6 turnovers. The offensive glass, which was so critical in the beginning of the game, the first half, both teams over 40% offensive rebounds. Basically no offensive rebounds for anyone in that third quarter, but it was the Blazers' turnovers that really killed them. Meanwhile, Denver getting up very few three-pointers, but making them 7 out of 16 so far. And Nikola Jokic played through the entire third quarter. We'll see if there's time now where he's on the bench. Lillard is going to need to sit as well. He's struggled to 4 of 14. Does have 6 assists, but it has not been a quality game from him so far. And let's see what y'all got to say. Retweet us. Tell your friends. Having a few computer issues. Got to close some windows here. All right, we are back. And I'll probably just restart this computer, actually. Maybe that'll help me. Here's Millsap going into the post on Turner. Turner was a big problem offensively with Millsap helping off him. Offensive rebound. And Beasley with a big 3 to push Denver's lead to 10. I will say this, that when Denver is going on all cylinders, I think they have the advantage in this series. Here they're looking for Curry, who has gotten off in this game, tries to cross over on Plumlee. They call a kick ball, and Plumlee did kind of move his foot just a little bit there, so good call. Curry trying to go one-on-one against Morris with a late clock. Plumlee pressuring him out on the floor. Collins, good rotation for Millsap. And Millsap, I think, is going to get called for a hold here. Not a good foul with Collins. Not a huge post threat. Again, though, here's something to watch. With Turner in the game, he's standing in the dunker spot, usually opposite the ball. Millsap is a great help defender. So watch for Paul Millsap coming in and gumming up these actions for Portland. Good denial by Barton on McCollum. 7 on the clock. Hood's going to try and go one-on-one against Plumlee. Spreads out Collins into the lane. Goes for the nice finish. Rodney Hood, not a great one-foot jumper, but when he can explode off a 2, capable of some acrobatic dunks and finishes. Back down to 8. Beasley forced towards the baseline by McCollum. Into the mid-range. Pulls up, not there. Turner looking to push it. He wants Hood in the post. He pointed him down there against Morris. Millsap coming over for help. They swing it to Curry. Good close from Barton. Hand off Turner. Swings it to Hood. Almost traveled. Here's a wide open 3 from McCollum, and he hits it. Denver going crazy, wanting a travel on Hood, but they ruled that he got rid of it just quickly enough. So back down to 5 here. The no Lillard, no Jokic minutes. Proving critical in this game. This time Beasley gets middle on Curry. Into Plumlee. Plumlee tries for the reverse. and he's fouled by Rodney Hood. That is an ankle-breaking right-to-left crossover by Hood on Plumlee. Yeah, that was really close to trouble. Maybe we didn't get a chance to see Hood's feet on that play. Maybe he just never left the ground. Plumlee, as Portland fans are well aware, not a great free throw shooter. So here's Evan Turner. They have not put the ball in his hands much. He's basically just been playing off the ball. The whole reason they brought him here was supposedly his on-ball attributes. Curry gets Plumlee in the air. Turner gets to the foul line, goes to the floater, not there. Very unconfident. He had the open jumper right there at the foul line, but Turner hasn't even been able to hit from the mid-range in these playoffs. Plumlee down the lane. Nice pass. Millsap has had the touch from outside. Oh, in and out. McCollum crossing over on Beasley. Pulls up in his face. Oh, yes! CJ McCollum. And it's an 8-0 Portland run here with Jokic on the bench. And you have to imagine Malone will call for Jokic to return shortly. Ripped through by Beasley. Cut off nicely by Curry. Offensive foul on Malik Beasley. Couldn't see it from here, but he shoved him back, it looked like, with the forearm. And Malik Beasley has not been good tonight. Especially guarding McCollum. Let him get off in the second quarter, just losing him on a couple of shots. Here's McCollum again, double teamed by Plumlee. Steps back. Not there. Barton looking to stanch the bleeding for Denver. High pick and roll. He'll pull up for the three. Will Barton is off, but not good enough rebounding there from Hood and Turner. Now it's going to be Millsap in the post against Hood. Hood trying to front him, force him out on the floor. Time is running down here with the 14-second reset. Collins with the block. No call on the goaltend. Portland with a 5-on-4. They've got Hood wide open up top. Curry just missed him. Now he's going to step back on Barton. Not a good shot. Really bad shot from Curry. He has missed guys open a couple of times here. And Hood had a wide open three. And now Millsap on the drive goes right through Turner for the foul. And hopefully Stotts will take this chance to get Turner out of the game. I thought that Stotts has stayed with Turner too long in some of these games. And especially with Harkless, as Murray and Jokic are going to return. Harkless only played 17 minutes. Aminu has played 29. Like, those guys can come back and finish it out for you. You don't need Evan Turner on the floor. They're not running the offense through him. He's just standing on the baseline, gumming up the spacing. Morris and Plumlee leave. Jokic is back. Jokic did not try to elbow Zach Collins, going for the free throw rebound that time. So Lillard has been out for 4 minutes now. McCollum on the drive on Jokic, gets into his body and finishes beautifully. There was more help again from Millsap, but McCollum took care of it anyway. McCollum has been on fire in this quarter, and you'd think maybe Malone can go back to Gary Harris soon as well, or Torrey Craig. Here's the left-handed floater from Murray. Goes right back to Jokic, and Murray finishes it easily. Millsap kept it alive on the offensive glass. High screen for McCollum again. Collins switching the angle of the screen. McCollum into Jokic. Jokic with the fat guy defense knocks him into the baseline, and he's called for the foul. And that's a tough call on Jokic. He's pretty much going in a straight line back towards the rim. Wasn't going into McCollum's path, in my opinion, that time. CJ way short on the first free throw. You don't see that often from him. Harris is back. Lillard continues to marinate on the bench. And I think this is a mistake by Stotts not going back to him at this point in time. He got a pretty good rest in the first. Just got about 5 minutes here. Things are going well, so it's easy to say, well, okay, things are going fine. We don't have to bring him back yet. But that could turn very quickly with Denver having gone back to their starters. Here's an open three for Murray as they miscommunicate really badly. Hood and Curry as that little screen from Barton was set, and now you imagine Lillard is going to come back in. But that was a really bad miscommunication between Curry and Hood. That's probably one between two guards that you should just switch, and they didn't, and Murray got a wide open three. So Denver right back to a 6-point advantage here. How come Denver's had more luck slowing down Dame than OKC with less defensive talent? Well, Lillard just hasn't made some of the same shots that he made against OKC. And that's a big part of it. To me, they've also made more of an effort to get the ball out of his hands at the point of attack. And I think this is something that's important. He hasn't shot it well, and he could shoot it better. But overall, their offense has been fantastic in this series. So as long as they are scoring well, and he's the main engine of that, yeah, they're taking the ball out of his hands, but it's opening up plenty of other stuff. Sorry, buddy. I got to lean forward here. Why does Craig not play more minutes? Even as a starter, he doesn't play starters minutes. Well, he did when he was starting in the San Antonio series with Barton playing poorly. But I think when Craig was getting roasted in the third quarter, you say, hey, if he's not going to stop these guys, we might as well just go to Barton to get more offense anyway. Is the backdrop always there? Or do you just unfurl it for the NBA cast? Nah, I pretty much leave it here. This is like a room that is essentially mine to either watch games or broadcast from. So I pretty much just leave it up. It's kind of a pain to put it up there, so no reason to take it down. See what else we got here. Is Murray a top 6 point guard going into next season? No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, between Kyrie, Kemba Walker, Westbrook, obviously Steph, Lillard, and that's 5 that are clearly better than him right there. Eric Bledsoe was better this year for sure. So I do think look at Jason Tatum as a perfect example. A guy has a good playoffs, and keep in mind too, Murray has had a good playoffs against 2 bad defensive teams. And I've been higher on Murray than just about anyone over the course of his career, but he's got a lot more to prove, especially when you consider his subpar defense. He's gotten better, but he also still has some major limitations. All right, we're going to be back here momentarily. Lillard has in fact returned. He'll be guarded by Harris, who has done a very nice job on him. I would also say that Gary Harris has been better defensively than anyone that OKC had to throw on him in that series. Collins hands off to CJ, engages Jokic in the pick and roll. Barton does a good job staying with him. CJ floats it up way high off the glass. Collins keeping it alive, but it goes to Harris. Another decision for Stotts is when to go back to Cantor. They've gotten some okay minutes here out of Collins. Hood hounding Murray. Now they get the switch. Collins has decent mobility. Murray steps back. Can't get it. Rebound Harris, though. Denver's starting to make their effect felt on the offensive glass. And that's where Collins really can be a liability. Now, Millsap, they're going to have to send help here. He goes to the floater over Aminu. Good help from Aminu. Another potential sub. Hood has been good, but do you go back to Mo Harkless at some point? Double screen up top. Lillard, yes! That time, with two guards setting the screen, Murray never reacted, and Millsap never reacted. So the deep three from Lillard. I think they need to set way more of those screens way out on the ball. Lillard, great job not letting Murray use the screen. Jokic, Collins with the wild closeout. He's going to pick up the foul. Lillard raising his arms of, what are you doing, Collins? I had him taken care of. Then you just give up the open shot to Jokic. Jokic attacking Aminu. Throws a wild pass to Murray, which he recovers, engaging Collins and throws it off his foot. So 4.4 left now on the baseline out of bounds for Denver. 3-point game here, and this game really is going to be the series. I think Denver, if they win this one, they can be back in control. I love this situation when the home team is down 2-1. Here's the drive by Jokic. Swing it out to Barton. Barton attacks. Barton floats it up. Not a good shot. Jokic controlling on the offensive glass. Never even had to touch it with the left hand. He just holds off Collins. And I think it's time to go back to Cantor here because Collins is just too weak on the defensive glass. Lillard, blow by on Harris. Lays it in and fouled from behind. No, they didn't even give him the call. Wow. That sure looked like a foul to me. Now Murray guarded by Hood. Jokic in pick and roll. Collins. And I think they're going to get McCollum down low here with the foul call, reaching in. It certainly can't have been a foul on Collins, can it? I thought he did well to go vertical. Both teams, 3 fouls in the quarter. Make it a 4th now. And they are calling that on Zach Collins. That's a rough call on him. He fouls plenty without having to give him a borderline one like that. Oh, so Murray is going to be shooting these. Interesting. All right, I didn't really grasp what happened. Oh, it's a technical. That's why. Zach Collins picking up a real stupid technical at this point in the game, too. And yeah, Cantor's on 4 fouls, but I don't understand why they're not going to go back to him at this point. Yeah, I mean, that's a clear foul on Millsap. He just knocks Lillard's legs out from under him. Try and catch you up on some of the stats here momentarily. Collins is out. Denver, 39% offensive rebounds. 38% offensive rebounds. And the 17% turnovers for Portland. That's really what has killed them. So back to a 6-point advantage for Denver. They've managed to hold on to the lead. Both teams, with their starters, the exception of Hood. Lillard can't get past Jokic for the layup. Murray looks to Jokic. Barton was trying to post up for a second. They didn't see him. Murray back to Jokic. Swings it. Millsap off the dribble. Engages Cantor. Almost got him in the air. 7 on the clock. Murray going at Cantor. Baseline. Tries to throw up an impossible shot. There's no way he could have made that. He's going full speed the opposite direction. Now Lillard has Murray in transition. He's going to try and take him here. Goes right into him, and I'll see if they'll give him a shooting foul here. One thing I really haven't cared for that Portland has done is when Lillard has had Murray, they bring a guy over to set the screen. Why do that? Just let him go right at Murray. And good job by Lillard going before Aminu could actually get there for the screen. So Lillard getting to the foul line, that's been another thing that Portland has not been able to do, is get him to the foul line. Denver has done a good job after game 1 of not fouling. Lillard misses the second free throw. Critical miss. Barton, Murray. Now Jokic off the Harris screen to set it. Barton into the lane, attacks, throws it behind. Millsap intercepted. Not a good pass from Barton. And that was a foul that they missed again. Lillard twisting to the layup. Easy tip in, though, from Aminu. And Mike Malone will use his use it or lose it timeout here. Jokic has done a decent job disrupting some of these Lillard layups. Over under 1.5 for the number of rings Golden State would have won in the previous 2 years. Oh, under for sure. I mean, hard to see them beating that Houston team last year. Now, keep in mind, if KD hadn't signed there, they might have had cap space to sign someone else in 2016. They might have been able to create cap space in the summer of 2017, maybe for someone like Gordon Hayward as well. So they would have been able to get reinforcements. More than just that same team that they had in 2016. But, I mean, especially when you consider that last year Curry missed the first round of the playoffs, the first 6 games of the playoffs, and was not really at 100% until probably well into that Houston series. I don't see how they would have won it. 2017, I think they probably could have. I mean, they were really, really good when KD was out. And that was a great Cleveland team, too. Don't get me wrong. But when you throw in who else they might have gotten on that team, I think they still would have beaten them, but it would have been a classic series. I don't think anybody in the West would have beaten them in 2017. Take a look at some of the shooting stats in just a second. What does Aminu get this offseason? 3 for 35? Yeah, I do think a team would go with more than that guaranteed. I mean, there's just not that many starters who are good, solid players available. Should performances from high-priced centers like Capella, Adams, and Gobert this playoff serve as a warning team with the young traditional big men? I wouldn't put Gobert in that category. I thought he had a good series other than those first 2 games. And it's also worth noting that Gobert helped them win a ton of games in the regular season. I mean, it's easy to forget about it now as we're getting into this second round of the playoffs of like, oh man, this guy can't play in the playoffs. Well, hey, no. Sorry, buddy, don't do that. That's the microphone. But it's easy to forget, and Utah very easily, if they could have had a better matchup, might have been a second round team as well. And this is the top 8 teams in the NBA. You got to pay guys on all of the teams in the NBA. And yeah, if you're a championship contender, if you think you're going to be that, maybe there's a concern. But, Rudy Gobert is a top 20 player in the NBA. Like, Adams, I think, yes. Capella, I think the way he played last year, and he didn't get that big of a contract, is I thought he earned that contract if he had just played the same way this year as he played last year. But yeah, I mean, it's these 6 teams in particular who aren't playing in this series that we're watching right now are just on a different planet from the rest of the league. Murray with a 3-point lead. Working on Lillard. Jokic. Stopped by Cantor. Jokic backing down. Help coming from the top here with Lillard. Murray on the drive. Can't create space. 6 on the clock. Jokic is going to have to go. Murray rotated onto nicely by McCollum. Fade away. Impossible shot not there. And that's an issue. Murray is the one who has to create in the late clock every single time for this team. And I think that really hurts his stats. They just have no one else who can create that time of a shot. Lillard waves McCollum into the corner, tries to get around Jokic, no call. Along the baseline, and now he's going to get fouled by Millsap. Millsap reached in. But by the way, that's the exact same call at almost the exact time in the game that Kawhi Leonard got on Joel Embiid in the first game. So no bonus yet for Portland. That is that is a fifth foul on Denver. At least that's what it's listed on the play-by-play. So this should be free throws, and Malone will take his use it or lose it now with 3:28 left. How did Draymond get himself into better shape so fast? Or how did he play an entire NBA season out of shape? It's really not that hard. If you're playing an NBA schedule, all you do is you just cut out carbs and you can just lose that weight. It's really not that bad. Like, if you just don't have carbs, like, I can lose 10 pounds in a month easily, and I have nowhere near the level of physical activity that he does and nowhere near the metabolism that he does. Especially if you're someone, like, I don't really drink very much. If you're someone who drinks too and you cut that out, now you really can lose a bunch of weight. How did he play an entire season out of shape? I mean, I think the injuries had a lot to do with it as well. And I think that there's a feeling that maybe you can't be in incredible shape all the time. I think that's what he feels, or maybe he's just felt like enjoying his life because the regular season doesn't matter. All right, we're back here. And looks like the play-by-play was wrong. Denver does not have 5 fouls. Or Portland would be in the bonus. Lillard. Oh, did they call that? That was not good at all. I mean, I guess he puts a couple hands on him to try and make him take a wider path. Yeah, I mean, you put your hand on him like that. That's a point of emphasis. It has been for 15 years. Don't put your hand on him. You're going to give the referee a chance to call it. And that's a critical 5th foul on Millsap. And Lillard with the chance to bring Portland within 2 hits the first free throw. So Lillard certainly sold that. But you put your hand on him, and Millsap's doing that to try and create advantage. He's trying to make him take a little bit wider of a path around him so that his guard can get back in a position on that play. Murray and Jokic, they don't know what they're running. Millsap is confused. They just took a timeout. They should know. Here's Harris out of the weak side corner. Cantor steps out nicely. Murray had Jokic in the post, didn't use him. Now he's stuck. Jokic, they got to send help here as he stood up by Lillard. Here's a 3 from Barton in the corner. Yes, great pass. And Seth Curry was not able to rotate down in time off that double team. Lillard blowing past Harris right to the lane. Jokic never reacted. Denver with a 2-point lead. I don't think they can stop Portland. I think they're going to need to keep scoring here if they want to win this one. Murray, forced baseline by Lillard, gives it up. Jokic, late clock again for Denver. He's going to have to create something. Harris gets to the mid-range, bothered from behind by Curry, but not enough. And he sticks to the jumper, and maybe Enes Kanter that late in the clock could have stood to step out a little bit more. Here's Lillard. Goes at Jokic. Backs up. Jumper is good. And they're going now high pick and roll or ISO for Lillard every time. And Denver has not had any answers. Would like to see Denver get into something more quickly here. Maybe a post up for Jokic every once in a while. Or Millsap. Those guys have been effective. They just go into this DHO game. And that can kind of peter out late in the clock. Jokic on the drive. Good help from Aminu. Swings it to Barton. Barton, another 3-pointer. Huge shots from Will Barton. Gives Denver a 5-point lead. Mike Malone pushing the right buttons to get Barton back in the lineup over Craig these last 2 games. Lillard, hounded now by Harris. Everyone is pretty tired. We haven't had a timeout in a while. Here's Aminu. Floats it up. Scores. Great pass. They had to double team Lillard at the point of attack. The 2-on-1, and Millsap defended as well as you can, but a big shot. So now Portland needs to get a stop. Nobody's gotten a stop in a long time. Dame is exhausted, hands on his knees. Murray, in and out dribble, engages Cantor. They get the switch. They want Murray to back out. He attacks Cantor, gets it to Jokic. Jokic way out on the floor. Murray did not make the right pass. Now Jokic gets Harris backdoor, and he scores and one. What a pass! Seth Curry could not stay with him, but he's right there. That's just such a good pass. The cat is agitated. Uh-oh, Jokic looks like he hurt something here. I want to see what this was. I think maybe when he jumped to pass it, he must have landed on someone's foot, perhaps? Oh, man, this is a bummer if he's hurt. And with him having to go to the bench here, let's see if we can catch it. 3 the cat is not happy. So I guess he's already struggling at this point, maybe? You can never tell. He's not the most fluid mover in the world. Yeah, I think he must have heard it before that sequence that they showed. So it looks like they're working on his calf. Lillard now down by 6, tries to draw the foul, almost throws it away. Hood steps back for the 3 on Craig. Huge shot from Rodney Hood. They went with Millsap at center, Craig at the 4, and Malone is going to get a timeout here. They want to try and get Jokic back in the game. He is definitely hobbling. Still never got a look at exactly what it was. Maybe it's like a pulled calf for him. If anyone saw it in the comments, please let me know. Yeah, I just was not able to see what happened to him, but hopefully he can move all right. I mean, certainly with the amount of minutes that he's played over these last few games, a muscle injury would not be unexpected. Cramp. Yeah, that might be it. It looked like they were massaging it, so hopefully that's all it is. And really, a calf cramp is most going to bother you when you're trying to sprint up and down the floor, and he doesn't do too much of that anyway. Why was Stotts going with Curry over Hood? Yeah, or Harkless, for that matter. I mean, Harkless hasn't had the greatest game, but they took him out due to foul trouble and never put him back in. You do question that when they haven't been able to get a stop. Curry had that great first quarter, obviously. All right, we are back here. They're going to run the time down as long as you can with a 3-point lead. No concerns about the 2-for-1 here. Murray, double teamed at the point of attack. Swings it to Jokic. Jokic, Barton did not have the 3. He's going to have to go one-on-one against McCollum. Pulls up from way out. Not there. Rebound Cantor. They need to push it here. Millsap knocked it away, and they throw it off the backboard, and we'll go down the other direction. Barton with... maybe not the greatest idea to go for that offensive rebound, considering they're going to get Plumlee in for defense here. And good job by Denver using a lot of clock. They prevent Portland really from a chance at getting a 2-for-1 themselves. Aminu is out. Portland going with all their offensive guys. With this, them needing a 3, I think I would probably rather actually go back to the same strategy as before as Denver to get guys who can switch and take away the 3-pointer. I think with Plumlee out there, they may be able to exploit him. And are they reviewing this here? It did not bounce out of bounds there, I don't think. And Barton does land, and it doesn't matter. He threw it off the back of the backboard anyway. So really the only thing that would matter is if that first bounce was knocked out by Portland. So I think here, if Plumlee is going to be in the game, a pick and roll for Lillard, might even think of getting Myers Leonard in the game here, someone who can take a pick and pop three. Because I do think they got the time right here as well at 27.1. Portland, 2 timeouts left. Interesting that they're not going to take one here. But so this would maybe indicate that they're going to try for a 2. They get it in to Lillard. See if a screen's going to come for him here. No, he's just going to try and get past Harris. Good defense from Harris. And a foul is called. Oh, man, that could have tied it potentially on an and one. Lillard had not really gotten that driving call throughout the last 2.5 games. And now in this fourth quarter, that's a clear foul from Harris with his arm on him. Not a good idea because you can potentially give up the and one. Oof. Killer miss. A couple here in this quarter from Lillard. Usually a clutch free throw shooter. Now, we're not yet in misintentionally territory. Lillard with another free throw, and presumably there's going to have to be a trap in the backcourt. Only one timeout left for Denver, so they can't really use it yet. They're going to have to actually get it in bounds. Here's the attempt to get into Murray. They're going to try and trap Jokic. Gets it to Murray. He's across half court. They tried to foul him. Now they have to foul for sure. And Murray, an excellent free throw shooter, has a chance to make this a 2-possession game. So Jamal Murray, an excellent free throw shooter. This is another reason why the quick 2 isn't great. I mean, it's just you're not guaranteed to get the quick 2, even if you get fouled. Even for a great free throw shooter like Lillard, there's a decent chance you might miss one. So Murray can really put Portland into difficulty here and flip the series back Denver's way. Yes, Jamal Murray, ice, and they'll advance the ball here with one of their 2 remaining timeouts. In theory, it's still in their hands. They can hit a 3, foul, Denver hits 2 free throws, and they hit another 3 to tie it, but that is quite a sequence that you're asking for there. Who would I have had in for Plumlee, Beasley? I'm not sure. Did they have Craig in that last round? I didn't see it. Yeah, I mean, this is where Wancho just being completely unusable and out of the rotation. Just to have even been giving him, 3 or 4 minutes so he could come in on some of these defensive possessions and provide a little bit more mobility. So you can play Millsap at center and switch everything in these type of lineups. So it might have been nice. But yeah, I mean, we were talking about that in the 4 overtime game too. There just aren't that many options. And Beasley, I mean, he's prone to a lot of brain farts as well. Is Denver only a trade away from scaring the Warriors? Well, as long as Kevin Durant leaves. All right, here we go. Lillard is on the far side of the floor. Gets the screen from Hood. They get into McCollum. No advantage gained. Now they try some split cut action. Lillard, he's going to drive the lane, lay it in easily, but good job by Denver not giving up that three-pointer. Lillard, with time running down, had to drive and take it. They tried to get a 3. It was great defense by Denver to switch everything. And this is a good time for Malone to use that last timeout and advance the ball. You definitely want to get something into the hands of Murray here, who is their best free throw shooter, and Murray can end the game with another couple of free throws. What does Millsap get this summer? I believe Denver is going to end up picking up his team option. Maybe they would reach some sort of an accord with him where they give him another year. But, I mean, Millsap has played incredibly well. And he would have a market, I believe, as a free agent. So unless you can come up with a reason for him to opt out, and maybe they would say, all right, we'll give you, like, I don't think, for example, with Millsap, that if you say, okay, we'll pay you $40 million over 2 years after opting you out, that would be enough. I think another team would give him more than that. Shouldn't they have fouled the worst shooter on the floor in the inbounds? Well, you can't do an away from the play foul, otherwise you just give up a free throw and they get to inbound again. Jokic, an excellent guy, maybe the guy I would most want to have in the whole NBA, throwing this inbound pass with his size and obviously being a great passer. Aminu is oriented to try and take away anything coming to the top of the arc. Murray is on the opposite side. Presumably they're going to try and get him the ball here. He comes from the weak side, navigates a couple of screens, and he's going to get fouled. Nice work by Jamal Murray. He went in and out of 3 guys. They tried to switch everything and just couldn't do it. And also a really nice read for Murray to see that Aminu was oriented towards half court and to go get it on the baseline instead. How is Harkless not in the game for defense? Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe they feel his ankle is stiffened up, or he just didn't have it tight or whatever. But yeah, I wonder where he's been. Jamal Murray has had another outstanding game. Kept Denver in it in the first half with that 5 out of 5 first quarter for 13 points. And Jamal Murray gives Denver a 4-point lead, and this is going to be a 2-2 series. Yeah, they noted in the comments a couple plays ago that they took 7 seconds before they fouled. Yeah, it's tough. I didn't really think they didn't have a real press set up there, it seemed like. I thought it was interesting that Brad Stevens actually had Boston 2 nights ago in a 1-3-1 zone press, like a real college high school style of zone press, where Portland, they're just all right, we'll kind of pressure them and then just go double team whenever, and that just left a Murray wide open one pass away, and he's able to get away from the foul attempt, and that's their best free throw shooter. But you don't want to just foul right away in that situation, because you got to at least try to force a turnover if you can, and then when it gets in the front court, you foul. Portland to inbound. They're going to switch everything here with this versatile group. McCollum gets the 3-pointer off. He hits it, so they still can foul, but no timeouts left. And they're going to review to see whether McCollum, in fact, got a 3-pointer off. They cannot sub in this situation. And, ooh, that right foot looked very close to the line. I mean, this is an indication of why it's just so ridiculous. Yeah, that's going to be a 2. how little space there is in the corner. I mean, they really need to widen the court. It's never going to happen, but it's just so hard to operate over there. Any holiday plans for the NBA offseason? Yeah, I've been taking a long road trip across the country with my wife. Looking forward to doing that. Um, and I'll just try and do the twice a week recording in the off season from the road. Hopefully that'll go okay. I'm a little worried about the hotel audio quality. I'm going to try and get some sort of like portable studio that'll improve the audio quality for me. So how are they able to sub here? Yeah, no, okay. They're I guess Cantor was in to begin with. Yeah, all these same guys, the same guys from before should be in. You can't sub in this situation. It's just a made basket. He should be able to run the baseline as well. And he does. Trying to get it in, gets it to Murray. Here's the foul. But a killer for Portland that wasn't not a killer because they weren't going to win anyway, but that wasn't a three. And Murray will get to pad his stats a little bit more. He's been absolute money from the line here. In contrast to Lillard, who had those two missed free throws in the fourth. Why? I don't know why everyone wants to get rid of the corner three. Because then it'll be impossible to space the floor. Yeah, I'm not in agreement with these ideas from Kirk Goldsberry. Like, what is wrong with the game right now? It's really good. Like, people love 3-pointers. Nothing gets fans more excited than shooting the three. And yeah, if we encourage guys to develop more skills, as Murray hits a couple of free throws, and as long as they don't foul here, Murray kind of did. But we'll go back to Denver, 2-2. Thanks for joining. I'm gonna go record Dunk Down with Danny right now, and don't know the schedule yet. I think we may take tomorrow off on the NBA cast, or maybe do something like this where we just come on for the end if it's close. But I will be tweeting out our schedule in the next couple of days. Thanks again for watching.